Hey, what's up guys? This is John.
And this is Mir.
We're here to review 10 Year's new album, From Birth to Burial.
Very exciting. Birth to Burial.
From Birth to Burial. This
amazing.
album, guys.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And here, I'll give you guys a quick shot of the interior, which is Tater Johnson, Ryan Tater Johnson, which is the lead guitarist, and Jesse Hatch, the lead singer. And I think there was a really nice art cover, front, middle.
Yeah, this is the coolest case I've seen from probably any band. I really think it's awesome.
Amazing. And throughout this album, you also see Jesse's personal artwork. I believe that's his artwork.
It is.
And he's such an artistic person, lyrically and also drawing wise.
And something that Minus the Machine was missing was lyrics.
Right.
And this has lyrics, which
I feel like this made up for that.
Yeah, that's huge. So we went through and we rated each song, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. So let's start with the first track. We got it here. What would you give From Birth to Burial?
The infection just led to the heart and the head. The infection is led to the heart and the head. All my monuments of accomplishments are lost and left behind. How do I find an end? I can't remember how this began.
I gave From Birth to Burial a straight 10 out of 10.
Same here. 10 out of 10.
Just because
I'm not sure if you guys can see this. 10 out of 10. Okay, let's talk about From Birth to Burial. The title track,
of course.
Probably, I might be jumping the gun a little bit here, but probably the best song on the album. Would you agree?
Well, I would say second best, but I'll back that up in a minute.
Okay.
But let's just talk about the song. They did an amazing job, amazing job for making it their first track on that album.
The build-up, it's kind of like a welcome back 10 years almost.
It's like they're having you reborn with their music, and they did an amazing job taking you to that ride. And it's really nice as far as the guitar goes. The riff is just simply amazing.
Oh my god.
It's just amazing.
Dun, dun, dun,
right.
Oh my god.
Right. The slow part, then Jesse takes
the build-up's incredible.
Yes.
It starts off very slow, like you're not sure where it's going to go at first, and then it just starts building and building, and then all of a sudden it just hits home and it never lets up. That song is incredible. Probably my favorite song on the album, which, God, there's so many good songs on this album. Okay, so that's From Birth to Burial.
No.
I would definitely check that song out if you're curious about this.
Before we wrap that song up, I just have to point one thing out, and we haven't really spoken about this, but that song was produced very well. It was mixed very well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think Brian did an amazing job, and you'll see it if you have heard it. Just the whole acoustic part, then obviously the heavy guitar part. You can't tell that anything's missing. It's all cohesive.
Yep.
It's very nicely done. Very nice.
Really well done. Okay, the next one is Selling Skeletons. What would you give that out of 10?
I give Selling Skeletons 8 out of 10. It's a really good song. I absolutely love the riff in that. What did you give it, John?
I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5?
So we're kind of like right there.
Right.
We're on the same page, sort of.
I think the reason why is because the riff is really neat, but you don't really feel like you're into that song until maybe a minute after. It has a good start, but then it kind of loses you just in the middle, and it picks it right up. And it has an amazing finish, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, the ending to that song is amazing.
It really is.
I do think that, I don't know, it's growing on me. I've listened to this album so many times now, but that song, when I first heard it, I was like, it's okay. It's certainly not my favorite.
Those first impressions, but you got to listen to it at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and then read the lyrics too, because it's more meaningful with
Understand
the
what
lyrics.
it means.
But at first, it's just kind of like, to me, it was at least a little because he does 2 verses, he does a verse, then a bridge, then the chorus, then a,
Right.
So like it's just kind of it starts off kind of but once it hits that 2-minute mark, it just freaking takes off from there, and I love how that song ends.
And I don't know if you agree, but I wish that 2 minute of that song was the entire song.
Yeah, I mean
that would have been a straight 10 out of 10 song.
Yeah, for sure. That ending is incredible. Okay, next song is Vertigo. Give that out of 10?
I give Vertigo a 9.9.
9?
9.5, but a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I actually did as well. I gave it a 9 out of 10 too. It's a cool song.
It's a really cool song. It's a little different than what they've put out there in the past.
I think his lyrics make you, like, it fits the style of the song so well.
Right.
Talking about around and round we go.
Exactly. It sways you into the you know.
Sure. Very melodic melodic rock song.
Right. Definitely nice.
That's a good one. Okay. The next one is one of my favorites on the album, for sure. Triggers and Tripwires. 10 out of 10, no question for me. What did you give it?
I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
A 9.5.
A 9.5. The only reason why is because, one, it was very different, which makes it really good. But I did not feel like it was 10 years till somewhere in the middle of the song where Jesse almost pulls you into the song to a point where you're like, wow, this is 10 years. I got lost a little bit in this song. I'm not sure if it was too much screaming in the beginning or... Not really sure, but you know what? Again, it has amazing riffs that I can't say I did not like. I absolutely love the riffs. I think Tater and Chad did an amazing job. I'm not sure if they came up with it, but well, they definitely nailed the playing part of it.
Okay, for me, this song is just absolutely incredible. I love that Jesse screams in this song. Yes, it's very, very different.
Yes.
He's never done that on an album, at least. He'll do that occasionally in like a concert, but on an album, he has never done that. And I just think...
I like the screaming. I thought that was a different look for Jesse.
I thought it was really good.
And it was really nice.
And I like the lyrics. I like the idea of the song. It mainly talks about like people's vices.
Right.
So whether it's drugs or alcohol or pornography or lust, whatever it might be, it kind of talks about people's vices and giving in to those vices. Trying not to, but eventually giving in, and how that affects you and makes you feel and affects others. Like... I don't know, and it's just so passionate and so hard-hitting that has to be a solid 10 out of 10 for me.
Well, for me, it started off really nice, and it ended just as good as it could have ended. But the middle part kind of lost me for a second. Not sure why, but I'll give it another listen or two.
You gotta give it another
or 10. So let's see what I can come up with.
It's awesome. Okay, the next song, number 5, is Luna. I gave it a 9.5.
10 out of 10. My #1 song of this album.
Really?
After Birth to Burial, this is... Well, Luna comes first, then Birth to Burial in my book.
So Luna is your favorite song on the album?
Luna is my favorite song.
That's interesting.
It's just lyrically, it's so deep, it's so... Very, very melodic song. And if you have heard it, obviously you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, Jesse does such an amazing job telling you one simple meaning of the song, but stretching it to a point where you just want to hear more and more and more. And, you know, I was contemplating thinking that, did it end too soon or did it end at the right moment? And it's one of those songs that leaves you wondering what could have been if there was another, I don't know, 30 or 40 seconds more into the song than it was in the final.
No, I think it's a really, really good song. It's, in my opinion, this is something that 10 Years has never done before.
The drums
it's very it's almost kind of like groovy.
Right.
Like it's a very, very odd song for 10 Years, but it works for him. It fits really well.
Right.
I don't know. I really like the song. I love like the build up. I love the chorus.
Absolutely.
I love the meaning. I do think it ended a little bit early. I want it like another 30 seconds or so.
And see, that's the part that'll leave you wondering exactly what could have been had there been another 30 or 40 seconds.
I thought Luna, it was a little bit short, but I mean, it's a great song.
It's a great song.
Like, really, really good. Okay, next is track 6, Crimson Kiss. Solid 10 out of 10.
Solid 10 out of 10. I agree.
Okay.
Such a good song. Amazing riff again. I mean, most of their songs you would see not really a pattern of the same riffs, but you can tell that they really love testing with different I guess tones and riffs, you can say.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was just amazing.
I think the riffs on Crimson Kiss is probably my favorite during the chorus. The chorus,
yes.
The guitar riffs on that, one of my favorite riffs on the entire album. And Tater's screams are
incredible.
So badass that, like, man, I tell ya, his screams on that song
they really are.
Is incredible.
They really are.
That is probably my number 2 or number 3 song on the album for sure. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. Please check out Crimson Kiss, guys. That song is just, it's killer.
It is incredible.
It's badass.
And see, that's just it about this album. I mean, we're not even, we're a little bit halfway through, and we've already said so many songs with great riffs, amazing melody in it. So you have to wonder if 3 or 4 songs in the beginning are already like that, how can the rest of the album be?
Yeah. I was blown away. Like,
so was I. It was really nice.
Incredible. Okay, next song is number 7. It's called
The River.
The River. 'd give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, and John mentioned in the last song, Crimson Kiss, the riff part, an amazing riff. My personal favorite was...
Your favorite riff is in the river?
Really? The river. At the 2-minute mark, I think it is, when it's getting close to end it, I don't know, it just, for some reason, takes off with this amazing riff. And you hear it before, but I guess Jesse's lyrics versus the riff kind of, makes it sound even better.
No,
at the end.
I agree. I think, like, the river is kind of what I wanted Selling Skeletons to be a little bit.
I agree.
Like, it has that, like, ending that Selling Skeletons has, but the beginning is just as badass as the end.
Right.
And it builds you up to that. Where Selling Skeletons, I felt the beginning of Selling Skeletons was just a little bit stale.
Okay.
And the river is like what Selling Skeletons could have been for me, at least.
The river starts amazing, just keeps on building up, and then ends.
And then that end to the river is fantastic.
Amazing, amazing.
And then, okay, the next song is Ashes.
Ashes to ashes, dust into dust. Lay your memories out to rust.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
All right, go ahead. You start.
Ashes is just a different song that I've, compared to the rest of the songs on the album. Amazing piano. Just the piano part of it really got me. And you could clearly tell this is Brian's doing. I mean, who else could come up with that, besides Brian?
Brian's kind of like the musical genius, I feel.
He's a music guy.
For 10 years. Like, he's not really touring with them anymore, but he still produces and he still writes a lot of the music. And hearing what the guys in 10 years had to say about Brian is, he's pretty much like the musical genius behind everything. So,
and I think the reason why this album sounds so good, aside from the guitar, the drums, and just the lyrics, is how it's so well edited. It's
mixed. It's mixed very well.
It's amazing. It's just, it has a really nice flow. You don't feel like you're missing anything or something. You can't pick up at any glitches even if you try, because it's mixed so well.
No, I agree. I think Ashes, the guitars in Ashes are so cool.
Right.
Like, they do something different with the guitars in Ashes than they do with any other album. Yeah. Like, it's just really, really cool, and it fits really, really well with the song. And again, the ending, like the build-up and the ending to that song is
Definitely.
so
Amazing.
cool.
It's amazing. If you haven't heard it, definitely hear it.
Yeah, check that song out. That's
I absolutely
that's a
love
solid
the piano
song.
on that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next is number 9. It's Survivors. What did you give it?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
9
really
out of
good
10?
song. Really, really good song.
I gave it a 9 out of 10 as well. Okay,
Yeah.
you go ahead and talk about it.
Survivors, just as far as the lyrics go, it really gets you thinking what this song is really about. It has so many meanings that comes to my head. I'm not sure about you.
Something that it reminds me of is like being stranded on a boat.
Exactly.
Or like lost at sea.
Right, something like that. And it's just like you're calling for help. Are there any survivors?
Well, it's almost like a search and rescue song, in my opinion.
Right. It's so different than any
I
other song.
I love it. It's like slow and very melodic and kind of haunting almost.
Yes.
Just very, very, very cool song. So if you're into 10 years slower stuff, I would definitely check Survivors out. And the ending, when it's just Jesse singing like the last like 10-15 seconds.
Amazing.
So good. I mean, they put a little bit of effect on his voice, but his voice is so good that it doesn't even matter. Like it just enhances it, in my opinion.
The crackling like sound of his voice in that song is just simply amazing.
That's a cool song. Check that song out. Okay, next is their
number 10.
Their single their first single that they released, Miscellanea. What would you give that?
I gave it a solid 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Him and his .5s.
Yeah.
Miscellanea was just an amazing song.
Sometimes it's not a 10, or it's not a 9, and it's not an 8. It's an 8.5.
It's an 8.5. Well, I give it a 9 just because when I first heard it, that's what helped me understand that Birth to Burial was going to be amazing. Because I feel like with their singles, they can help you understand a lot of things, and one of the things is which way they're really headed. For example, if you look back at Minus the Machine, Backlash had a different tone than the album
It's weird because I would give Backlash like an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10 too. I feel like their first singles always aren't the best songs on the album.
I thought Miscellanea was great. If you were to pick a single on that album, which one would you
From Birth to Burial.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't really argue with that. That's just an amazing song. And I think it almost sounds like they were probably confused which single to make. Either Miscellanea or Birth to Burial, because they both advertised it
I think they went with Miscellanea because From Birth to Burial isn't necessarily radio friendly. Because it takes like a good minute and a half until it kind of kicks off.
Correct.
However, From Birth to Burial is truly, I mean, I think it's my favorite song on the album.
But back to Miscellanea.
Miscellanea. Stay focused.
It's a heavy song, but it's really nice. And obviously there's a music video out there for it. If you haven't seen it.
Yeah, check the music video out. That's
amazing
really cool.
bass. I think Ryan did such an amazing job with the
Well,
whole
I think actually Brian came up with that riff. Brian Vodine came up with that riff. The bass line.
Well, Ryan sure killed it.
Yeah, he does a great job playing it live.
Amazing.
But for me, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird song. I don't think that represents the album very well. I think it's a good song. I love the chorus. I love the ending, but the verses, I don't know.
It has a really nice meaning to it.
Look, I love the live version. It's hard because I really like the song, but it's not my favorite.
I think what really did it for me was how it ended.
The ending's great.
And that's one thing about Jesse that's really amazing. And you can see this in his past albums too, how he just simply picks you up and then just, places you at a point in that song where you're like, wow, this is an amazing song. And part of the reason why is because the way he ends the song, by saying, I'd rather sink than swim.
Which leads right into their last song on the album, Moisture Residue.
I'd rather sink than swim. Give up, give in, and let my demons
This song, for me, solid 10 out of 10.
I couldn't have said it better.
No question.
Solid 10. I've never heard a song like this in their entire, 5-6 albums that they have?
Yeah.
Amazing. Just amazing.
It transitions so well from
Yes.
Miscellanea into Moisture Residue, which almost makes me like Miscellanea even more because it kind of fades right into Moisture Residue.
Right.
So Moisture Residue is a very, very deep, like very, very dark song if you like listen to the lyrics.
It
Like,
really is. And when you listen to the whole album, you finally understand that, okay, it started with the birth, of course, and now the passing through, which is
right.
Moisture Residue. And it's an amazing song, amazing meaning. And I am ready for even more songs on this album. I know they only did, 11 of them.
I wish it was a little longer. But
I
that's
wish
just
it was
me-
about 13 or 14
That's just
tracks.
me being a greedy 10 years.
Hey, that's okay, because I think that's what their point is. 10 Years' point is to make the fans want more out of what the album really has.
For sure. And I hope they come out with a deluxe version with maybe like a bonus song or two plus
Acoustic
acoustic.
version.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, Moisture Residue, that song is so beautifully haunting
Yes.
and almost depressing.
Yes, it
Like,
is.
if you listen to the lyrics, it could choke you up a bit.
I agree.
No
I agree.
question.
It's a really good song, really good album. So to sum the whole album up, what would you give it out of a 10?
Solid 10 out of a 10.
Solid 10 out of a 10. here, too.
It's probably
amazing songs. Amazing.
It's my favorite album next to, like, it's
Yes.
From Birth to Burial, then Feeding the Wolves, then The Autumn Effect. Like, that's my just top 3.
Birth to Burial is definitely on top of that. I think, I don't know if I would put Feeding the Wolves that high next to Birth to Burial, but it's an amazing album.
For sure.
It's really up there. And you know what? Moving into the future, I'm not sure where this would end up being anyway. It would still be on top of the list, like top 3 for sure.
What, From Birth to Burial?
Yeah.
No, man. Like, this is staying my number 1.
No, definitely top
No
3.
question. Yeah, no question. And then, so, we got this from FYE, so we also got the pick cards. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Put it real close.
It's like the special edition, only the FYE version. So
pick card.
this is pretty neat. Really happy to get this. But yeah, we bought it on iTunes. We got it on.
So we're gonna end up
hard
having
copy.
like 2 copies on iTunes, burn copy, what have you.
So
Amazing.
absolutely incredible job. Love this album, and
And if you guys are going to be in Pennsylvania on June
June 18th.
18th, we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
definitely
So
be
you can
there.
come check us out, say hi.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
We'll rock out to 10 years.
If you're a
together.
diehard 10 Years fan, you're automatically family. I don't care who you are.
Straight up. Seriously.
But just don't
So-
bring Chevelle into the conversation. No, I'm
Hey,
kidding.
Chevelle, come on now. Chevelle's good.
They're good, but this is 10 years. This is 10 years.
10 Years is by far my favorite band. So
No one
if you
beats 10
guys liked our review, sorry if it was a little bit long.
Yeah.
We're pretty passionate about 10 years.
And Tater had to apologize because he couldn't make it. No, I'm kidding. I wish.
Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Like I said, if you like us, like this video, subscribe to our page, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks guys.
All right, take it easy.